Warlocks, sometimes it feels like no matter what subclass we run, we'll always be living in the shadow of Well of Radiance. This is an unfortunate design issue with Destiny 2, but sometimes you just gotta say screw it and use what you want to use. Void Warlock has always been one of my favorite subclasses, and not only did it get some huge buffs this season to its aspects and super damage, but our current artifact perks also make any Void build absolutely cracked right now. This build has massive ad clear, huge single target damage, and incredible survivability. We'll break it all down in today's video, but first I gotta give a quick shout to the sponsor of today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a free-to-play turn-based mobile game with over 650 champions to mix and match to create your ultimate team. Between the campaign, awesome bosses to fight, and even PvP, you can customize and build your champions to tackle your favorite content. 3 things I love about the game is that it's super rewarding to new players, you get a ton of free summons and login rewards, and there is always new content like the brand new Call of the Arbiter campaign. Right now, you can earn the new champion Artak for free by logging in for 7 days between now and July 24th, and he will definitely help you steamroll everything in the game as a new player. On top of it all, using my link below or scanning the QR code in this video will start you off with a huge starter bundle that includes the epic champion Drake, as well as energy refills and XP boosts. Huge thanks to Raid for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the content. I just want to say a quick thank you for supporting my sponsored content, guys. It really helps keep the channel going, and without saying too much, just know I really appreciate it. Now, when it comes to Void Warlock, we are spoiled for choice with exotic armor. We got Nezarec's Sin, Verity's Brow, Nothing Manacles, and Controverse Hold. All of them are capable of making really strong builds, and the armor mods we go over later will be set up to really let you use whatever you want. But my personal favorite has always been Controverse Hold. We've covered this on the channel before, but Controverse allows you to hold your charge grenade indefinitely and provides a 20% damage reduction while doing so. Once you throw your grenade, you gain a brief 2000% increase to your grenade regen if it hits a target, and this can even activate twice on larger targets to refund your entire grenade. With the proper setup, we can have unlimited overcharged grenades, and this season in particular, they've become the catalyst for a mountain of synergy due to our seasonal artifact perks. Unto the Breach allows us to create a Void Breach anytime we defeat a Void debuff target, and this essentially frees up one of our fragment slots on our build, allowing us room for other options. Protective Breach grants a full Void overshield every single time we pick up a Void Breach, and this is uniquely powerful for Warlocks as we typically don't have access to Void overshields outside of using a weapon with Repulsor Brace. And finally, the perk Supernova is incredibly strong and allows our next source of Void damage to emit a weakening pulse after we pick up a Void Breach. This one's pretty wild, allowing our weapons or any source of Void damage to weaken targets for free completely passively. Even without these seasonal perks, the build is still extremely strong and future-proof. I just wanted to highlight what's really making it pop this season. Now, when it comes to our subclass itself, the first thing to mention are the 2 major buffs that Void Warlock got this season. Nova Bomb damage was increased by 20% for both versions of the super, which is a very welcome buff, and the Chaos Accelerant aspect had its fragment slots increased from 1 to 2. These 2 things definitely make the subclass stronger as a whole. Naturally, our first aspect would then be Chaos Accelerant. This is what allows us to charge up and hold our Void grenades in the first place. This works with a ton of different grenades, and you're welcome to experiment with them, but my preference is the Overcharged Vortex grenade, as it has the most synergy with Controverse Hold for that chance at proccing twice. I will say the Magnetic Grenade is extremely fun to use if you're a fan of handheld Supernova, but it can sometimes fall a bit short. Our second aspect is Feed the Void, where defeating a target with any Void ability, which includes volatile rounds, will activate Devour. Devour heals us to full health and generates a small amount of grenade energy each time it procs. This combined with our artifact perks means we will have constant healing from Devour and constant overshields from Void Breaches. These 2 aspects together grant us 4 fragment slots, the first of which has to be Echo of Undermining. This allows our Void grenades to apply the weaken debuff, making the target take 15% increased damage from all sources, but more importantly, it works with the artifact perk Unto the Breach to generate Void Breaches for free. We then take Echo of Remnants. This increases the duration of our Vortex grenade, allowing for more damage over time and the potential to double dip on Controverse Hold's exotic perk. Third will be Echo of Instability. No Void build would be complete without the addition of volatile rounds. This fragment allows our grenade final blows to grant us volatile rounds on our Void weapons for 10 seconds. Paired with the Supernova artifact perk, our Void weapons will be capable of applying volatile and weaken at nearly all times. Now, our 4th fragment slot is new to the build this season, and you can experiment with it if you like, but I recommend Echo of Starvation. This allows our Void breaches and Orbs of Power to grant us Devour as well. This may seem like double dipping since the Feed the Void aspect grants Devour as well, but this will allow us to not be completely dependent on getting kills to heal and reactivate Devour, which aids in our survivability. Now, as far as stats go, I recommend 100 Resilience first and 100 Discipline second for this build, while also pushing recovery as high as you can get it. This will make things as fluid as possible. When looking at our weapons, we have a ton of options. A Void primary weapon is a must, and we have a lot of choices like the Unforgiven SMG from Duality, the classic World Drop Funnel Web, or even the reprised age-old Bond auto rifle from the Last Wish raid. All of these weapons have fantastic perk combinations available on them, so I encourage you to do a little research and see what suits you best. D2Foundry.com is an amazing website that will let you preview and build weapons to see what's possible. For your kinetic and heavy slot, use whatever you like. Wither Horde, Arbalist, and Conditional Finality are amazing exotic special weapons for your kinetic slot, and for your heavy, you can use a Void machine gun like Commemoration for more ad clear, or a Void linear or rocket launcher works great as well. For the final section of the video, we'll touch on every armor mod that we are using for the build. There is a dim loadout link in the description that will copy this full setup to your character with a single click, so feel free to use it, but maybe hit that subscribe button while you're down there. Starting on our helmet, we take 2 copies of Ashes to Assets for huge super gains on grenade kills, and 1 copy of Harmonic Siphon to generate orbs on Void weapon final blows. On our arms, we take 1 copy of Firepower for orb generation on grenade final blows, 1 copy of Grenade Kickstart, which will help us get our grenade back quicker and also consume armor charges for additional grenade energy, and I take 1 copy of Void Loader to help with reload speed. Our chest armor will use 1 copy of Charged Up for a max of 4 armor charge slots, 1 copy of Void Reserves if you need it, and whatever resist mods you prefer. You can drop the reserve mod for additional resistances if you would like. For our leg armor, we are using the new Elemental Charge mod. This mod allows us to gain armor charges from picking up Void breaches. With 1 copy of the mod, every other Void breach will grant us an armor charge. I then take 1 copy of Innervation for nade energy on orb pickup and Recuperation for instant healing on orb pickup. If you want to use Void weapon surge mods here, you absolutely can. Nothing is set in stone, so feel free to try it out. Finally, on our class item, we take 1 copy of Bomber, which grants us grenade energy when we drop our Rift. This is something you'll want to use quite often. If you're close to having your grenade and you need it, don't forget to just drop your Rift, as this will give you 20% of your grenade back instantly. The new mod Powerful Attraction is also used here. This will collect any nearby orbs of power automatically when we drop our Rift as well, which is super convenient. And last, we will take Reaper, which will generate an orb on our next weapon kill after we drop our Rift. Everything on our class item here is all about our class ability. Like I said, you can use this setup with any other exotic as well. You may want to tweak things accordingly, but there is a lot of freedom to play with when it comes to Void Warlock. The buffs to our super and aspects and the current seasonal artifact perks make this build stronger than ever, so I hope you'll give it a shot when you aren't being shoehorned into running Well of Radiance. That's going to do it for the build, guys. If you found the video helpful, a like and sub is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.